Did you know that the secret to transforming your biggest challenges into your greatest opportunities may have been discovered over 2,000 years ago? Imagine facing life's storms with a calm so powerful that nothing could shake your inner peace. Sounds like a superpower, right? Well, it's not fantasy. This ancient superpower is real. It's an age-old philosophy as practical today as it was in the bustling markets and marble halls of ancient Rome and Greece. Stoicism teaches us that while we cannot control every aspect of our lives, we have absolute power over how we choose to respond. And in a world where uncertainty seems to be the only certainty, these teachings may be the anchor we've been searching for. What if I told you Stoicism is less about abstract thinking and more about decisive action? It's about living with purpose, resilience, and steady happiness no matter what life throws at you. It's not about suppressing emotions. It's about understanding and managing them so you can live more fully and intentionally. So whether you're dealing with stress, navigating adversity, or simply looking to find more joy in everyday life, stay with me. Today, we're diving deep into Stoicism, uncovering its timeless wisdom and discovering how it can transform not just the way we think, but the way we live. If you're ready to begin this journey of transformation, don't forget to subscribe, share, and hit the like button. Stay with me until the end, because every moment of this video is a step toward unlocking Stoic wisdom that can change your life. 1. Focusing on what's in your control. Have you ever found yourself stuck in traffic, fuming over the delay? Or scrolling through your phone only to feel upset by a negative comment someone left on your post? It happens to all of us. Daily life feels like a series of small tests, each one challenging our mood and peace of mind. But here's a perspective from Stoicism that can completely reframe that frustration. This philosophy, born in ancient Greece and Rome, gives us a powerful tool. Focus on what is within your control. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Pause and think about that. Traffic, bad weather, online criticism, these are outside your control. No amount of anger can change them. What you can control is your response. This isn't just ancient philosophy. Modern psychology echoes it. Carl Jung famously said, "I am not what happened to me, I am what I choose to become." That aligns perfectly with Stoic practice. Your true power lies in governing your thoughts, reactions, and actions. Let's make this practical. Imagine you're stuck in that traffic jam, late for an important meeting. You can sit there stewing in frustration, honking your horn, stressing yourself out, which won't move the cars ahead any faster. Or you can breathe deeply, accept the situation, and use the time productively. Maybe you listen to a podcast, an audiobook, or simply enjoy music. The traffic hasn't changed, but your response has, and that shift changes everything. Your stress decreases, your perspective softens, your day improves. As Marcus Aurelius, another Stoic heavyweight, reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. So the next time you find yourself worked up over something beyond your control, remember these words. Ask yourself, is this within my control? If it isn't, let it go. Focus instead on your reaction, your mindset, and your actions. This simple shift can profoundly affect your stress levels and overall happiness. 2. Embracing obstacles as opportunities. Stoicism teaches us to embrace obstacles as opportunities. It sounds counterintuitive, doesn't it? Most of us are conditioned to see obstacles as barriers, threats to our success and happiness. But Stoics like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus completely flip that narrative. When life throws you a curveball, instead of asking, "Why me?" ask, "What can I learn?" Marcus Aurelius wrote in his personal reflections, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." In other words, every obstacle, no matter how intimidating, is not just a test of resilience, but a teacher. It forces growth, it demands adaptation, it builds strength. This isn't just ancient philosophy. Modern psychology echoes it. Carl Jung once said, "What you resist persists." The more we fight against obstacles, the more power we give them. But when we accept them, when we study them, we transform them into stepping stones. Let's make this practical. Imagine you're facing rejection after rejection in your job search. It's easy to spiral into self-doubt. But what if each rejection became feedback? Maybe there's a skill to refine, a strategy to improve, a direction to reconsider. The more we fight against obstacles, the more power we give them. But when we accept them, when we study them, we transform them into stepping stones. And when you adopt this mindset, you navigate life's highs and lows with resilience and wisdom. Acing rejection after rejection in your job search. It's easy to spiral into self-doubt, but what if each rejection became feedback? Maybe there's a skill to refine, a strategy to improve, a direction to reconsider. 3. Living in the present moment. We hear it all the time, live in the now, but what does that truly mean? Living in the present moment means fully inhabiting where you are right now, not drifting into the worries of tomorrow or the regrets of yesterday. It means experiencing this second without mental escape. It's about realizing that life, with all its beauty, challenges and surprises, unfolds in the present moment. This idea isn't new. It has been a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy, echoed by great thinkers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, and reaffirmed by modern psychologists and philosophers. Let's begin with the Stoics. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Do not dwell in the past, do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment." He understood that the power of living in the present lies in its ability to ground us, to clear mental clutter, and allow us to experience life as it unfolds. But why is staying present so difficult? Because our minds are noisy. We worry about what's next. We replay what has already happened. This constant mental chatter pulls us away from the richness of the now. Carl Jung once said, "The least of things with meaning is worth more in life than the greatest of things without it." Living in the present gives meaning to small, everyday experiences. It deepens life. Aristotle also emphasized mindfulness of the present as essential to achieving eudaimonia, a flourishing, fulfilled state of being. By focusing on the here and now, we make the most of our human experience. So how do we practice this? It begins with mindfulness, paying attention to the present moment without judgment. When you eat, savor each bite. When you walk, feel the ground beneath your feet. When someone speaks, truly listen instead of planning your reply. These simple acts bring you back to life as it is happening. Seneca offered similar wisdom. True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future. Anxiety about what may come or regret about what has passed steals joy from the present. Living in the present does not mean ignoring the future or erasing the past. It means learning from the past and preparing for the future without allowing either to dominate the now. In that balance, peace emerges. Every moment is a chance to reset, to refocus. It is here, in the present, that we live, love, and create meaning. So let's make a conscious effort to be present. Let's cherish the now, because this moment is where life truly happens. 4. Building self-discipline. The word self-discipline may conjure images of rigid schedules and joyless routines. But let's reshape that idea. Self-discipline is not restriction. It is empowerment. It is the ability to make choices aligned with your deepest values and long-term goals rather than surrendering to short-term comfort. At its core, self-discipline is mastery over oneself. It is saying yes to what serves you and no to what doesn't, even when that choice is difficult. Think about it. Sticking to a workout plan, saving instead of impulse spending, turning off Netflix to focus on a meaningful project. These choices may not bring instant pleasure, but they build lasting fulfillment. Stoic philosophy speaks clearly on this. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This captures the essence of self-discipline. It is not about controlling the world. It is about governing your impulses, emotions, and actions even amid temptation and distraction. 5. Developing emotional resilience. When life throws its curveballs, we all experience a whirlwind of emotions. Feeling angry, sad, or frustrated is part of being human. But here's the key. It's not just about what we feel. It's about how we handle those feelings. That's where emotional resilience comes in. Emotional resilience is like a superpower. It allows us to move through life's storms with steadiness and emerge stronger on the other side. It's about acknowledging our emotions, understanding them, and then choosing constructive action instead of being carried away by the tide. The Stoics spoke deeply about this. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This insight captures the essence of resilience. We may not control what happens to us, but we always control how we respond. Our emotions do not have to dictate our actions. Seneca taught that hardship tests character. When we face adversity with patience and reflection, we grow wiser and stronger. So how do we build emotional resilience? It begins with self-awareness. Notice what you feel. Recognize your emotional triggers. It is okay to feel anger or sadness, but instead of reacting impulsively, choose a response aligned with your values. Aristotle described the golden mean, the balance between excess and deficiency. Emotional resilience lives in that balance. It is neither suppression nor surrender. It is measured response. Carl Jung emphasized integrating all parts of ourselves to achieve wholeness. That includes our emotions. Confronting and understanding them is central to resilience. So what should you do when strong emotions arise? First, give yourself permission to feel. Acknowledge your emotions without judgment. Then pause, reflect, ask what triggered them and what they are teaching you. Epictetus reminds us it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Instead of reacting automatically, choose a response that is constructive and healing. Developing emotional resilience is a process. It requires mindfulness, reflection, and patience. It means building tools, journaling, speaking to someone you trust, practicing calm breathing. Most importantly, it means treating yourself with compassion as you grow. 6. Memento mori, remember you will die. The Stoics often reflected on memento mori, remember that you will die. But this was never meant to instill fear. It was meant to awaken gratitude and urgency. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." This is not morbid, it is clarifying. It is a reminder to focus on what truly matters, to let go of trivial concerns, to live with integrity and intention. Seneca spoke of life's brevity, urging us not to waste time on distractions, but to create meaning. Awareness of mortality sharpens our priorities. Epictetus emphasized making wise use of the present moment. If life is finite, then each moment carries weight. So how do we apply memento mori without carrying a sense of darkness by shifting perspective? Instead of fearing death, we allow it to motivate us. We stop postponing dreams. We stop delaying love. We stop assuming tomorrow is guaranteed. Think about what you've been putting off: a passion, a conversation, an act of courage. Memento mori whispers, do it now. It reminds us to speak honestly, love openly, and live consciously. It deepens gratitude. When we remember time is limited, every moment becomes more precious. Impermanence does not diminish life, it intensifies it. So let us use memento mori not as a shadow, but as a spark, a catalyst for growth, gratitude, and a life lived with depth and clarity. Let it remind us to make choices aligned with our deepest values, to cherish our relationships, and to savor the beauty of the present moment. Remembering that one day we will die encourages us to live more fully today. In embracing memento mori, we discover not a shadow of fear, but a call to celebration. Not a fixation on death, but a deeper reverence for life. Let us make every moment count, not because we fear its end, but because we love life itself. Let us live in such a way that when our time comes, we can look back without regret, knowing we lived fully, loved deeply, and embraced the extraordinary journey that life has been. 7. Practicing gratitude. It's fascinating how something so simple can have such a profound impact on our lives. Gratitude is about shifting our focus to what we have instead of dwelling on what we lack. And on days that feel like an uphill climb, this shift can be transformative. The Stoics understood this deeply. They believed happiness doesn't come from acquiring more, but from appreciating what is already present. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the beauty of existence. He wrote, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love." That is gratitude in its purest form, recognizing the value of life itself and the quiet gifts it offers every day. They believed happiness doesn't come from acquiring more, but from appreciating what is already present. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the beauty of existence. He wrote, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love." That is gratitude in its purest form, recognizing the value of life itself and the quiet gifts it offers every day. But how do we practice gratitude when life feels difficult? It starts with intention. Each morning or evening, reflect on 3 things you are grateful for. They need not be grand: a warm drink, a meaningful conversation, a beautiful sky at sunset. This simple practice gradually rewires the mind to notice abundance rather than scarcity. Gratitude also means reframing challenges. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What can this teach me?" This shift turns adversity into growth. Gratitude strengthens relationships as well. Expressing appreciation deepens connection. A sincere thank you reminds others they are valued and reminds you that you are not alone. Aristotle believed gratitude was essential to achieving eudaimonia, true flourishing. It allows us to see goodness both around us and within us. Modern psychology agrees. Studies show that practicing gratitude reduces anxiety, improves sleep, and increases overall well-being. As Carl Jung observed, happiness would lose its meaning without contrast. By acknowledging the full spectrum of experience, joy and difficulty alike, we cultivate a deeper, more authentic happiness. So let gratitude become a daily foundation. Celebrate small victories, cherish simple pleasures. Remember, it is not happiness that brings gratitude, it is gratitude that brings happiness. Let us raise a quiet toast to that truth, even on cloudy days. 8. focusing on personal excellence. The Stoics held a profound view of personal excellence. To them, virtue was the highest good. Everything we do should aim toward living virtuously. Marcus Aurelius captured this simply: waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Personal excellence is not theoretical, it is embodied. It is living the values we admire. Seneca emphasized continuous self-improvement and learning. He taught that excellence arises from living in accordance with nature and reason, from aligning actions with principle. Epictetus highlighted personal responsibility. Our reactions, emotions, and will are within our control. Mastering them is essential to a life of virtue. So, what does personal excellence look like in daily life? It begins with setting standards rooted in your own values, not in societal comparison. It means knowing your strengths and weaknesses and taking consistent steps toward growth. Excellence also reveals itself in how you handle failure. Aristotle famously said, "Excellence is never an accident. It is the result of high intention, sincere effort, and intelligent execution. Choice, not chance, determines your destiny." Challenges are not obstacles to excellence, they are catalysts for it. Modern psychology reinforces this with the concept of a growth mindset, the belief that abilities can be developed through dedication and effort. When you embrace challenges, persist through setbacks, and see effort as the path to mastery, you build excellence from within. Personal excellence also requires authenticity. It means remaining true to your values even when it is inconvenient. It means honoring your journey, struggles and triumphs alike. Gratitude, as discussed earlier, strengthens this process. Appreciating where you are fosters resilience and supports continued growth. Personal excellence is not about perfection. It is about intentional progress. So, let's commit to personal excellence. Let's set our own standards, embrace our unique paths, and take pride in our progress. Remember, it's not about being perfect, it's about being proud of who we are and how we live. It's about celebrating effort, learning from experience, and continually striving to become the best version of ourselves. Together, let's make personal excellence not just a goal, but a way of life. 9. Not caring what others think. In a world saturated with social media, where likes, follows, and comments often feel like measures of worth, it's easy to fall into the trap of defining ourselves through others' opinions. But here's a liberating truth: your worth is not determined by external validation. It is rooted in authenticity, in living in alignment with your values. The Stoics had much to say about this. They believed inner peace and freedom come from focusing on what is within our control, our thoughts, our actions, our integrity, not the shifting opinions of others. Marcus Aurelius once reflected, "I have often wondered how it is that every man loves himself more than all the rest of men, but yet sets less value on his own opinion of himself than on the opinions of others." This observation captures a paradox. Many of us live with valuing others' judgments above our own. Seneca emphasized living a life true to oneself rather than one shaped by external approval. True contentment, he believed, comes from alignment with principle, not applause. Epictetus taught that worrying about others' opinions lies outside our control and therefore is not worth our energy. Our power lies in our own conduct. So how do we begin caring less about others' judgments and more about authenticity? First, recognize that you are the author of your life. Your value is defined by your character, not by followers, praise, or comparison. Second, practice self-reflection. Ask, whose life am I living? Are my choices rooted in my values or in the expectations of others? These questions bring clarity. Third, embrace vulnerability. Being authentic means accepting imperfection. It means allowing yourself to grow openly, mistakes included. This authenticity attracts relationships grounded in sincerity rather than performance. Aristotle spoke of the golden mean, balance. Applied here, it means welcoming constructive feedback while preserving autonomy and self-worth. A Stoic mindset builds an inner fortress stable, steady, and immune to fleeting opinion. Accepting change means understanding that every shift, good or bad, has its place in your story. Seneca warned that attachment to current circumstances leads to disappointment because everything changes. Flexibility is not weakness, it is wisdom. Epictetus reminded us that we cannot control events, only our attitude toward them. That realization is empowering. Change becomes less threatening when we focus on our response rather than the situation itself. To accept change, acknowledge that it is inevitable. Practice mindfulness so you don't cling to what is passing. Ask, what can this teach me? Instead of, why me? Adaptability is part of virtue. When we see change as growth instead of threat, resilience replaces fear. Reflection is the anchor of growth. Marcus Aurelius reflected daily. Seneca advised self-examination. Epictetus encouraged asking, what did I do well? Where did I fall short? What can I improve? Reflection is not self-criticism, it is self-alignment. Make it a habit. Review your day. Notice your growth. Learn from your mistakes. Practice gratitude. Each of these lessons from Stoicism isn't just ancient wisdom. They're life hacks that can help us deal with stress, make better decisions, and find peace in chaos. Remember, it's not the challenges along the way that define us, but the strength we find in facing them. The wisdom we gather and the compassion we share. Each step, each reflection, each act of kindness is a brushstroke in the masterpiece that is your life. As we part ways today, I encourage you not to let the inspiration end here. On the screen you'll find a playlist that's a treasure trove of wisdom stories and strategies to help you navigate life's twists and turns with grace and resilience. Click on it, dive deeper, and continue to sculpt the most authentic version of yourself. Together, let's keep growing, keep reflecting, and keep embracing the beautiful complexity of life. Thank you for sharing this time with me. Until we meet again, remember to live not just for the applause, but for the cause of being your most genuine self. Take care and see you on the next step of our journey. Thank you.